test.
Welcome to Taripnong and Tungtungan, Luwisyano, Episode 2. This is a monthly talk show to prelude St. Louis College's Diamond Jubilee celebration. Your hosts for today's episode, the program head of Master in Public Administration, Mr. Christopher F. Mines. Joining him today is CSC Legislative Assembly Speaker of the House, Mr. Jose Eugene Dan A. Garcia.
Good morning, Louisians!
Naimbag na bigat, Louisians.
Welcome to the second episode of Taripnong and Tungtungan, Louisiano.
As a prelude to SLC's 60th founding anniversary. So, Jed, kumusta naman ang pagiging student leader ngayon?
Actually, Sir Mines, it's quite stressful this time of the month of the year because we're actually stressful na sa pag-complete ng requirements for the College Student Council. But having said that, it's actually a good participation as a student and also as a student leader. And before anything else, we'd like, of course, to have the announcement of winner for the previous episode, the pilot episode last May 10, 2023.
Yeah, sino kayang ating lucky winner for that one? But before that, let's remind our on-site and online viewers to please use our official hashtag SLC TKTL.
Ayan.
All right. So who's our lucky winner for that episode, Jed?
Yeah. But let's know first the question because they are quite intrigued about the question, Sir Minus. So the question was, what is Father Monche's one-word promise to SLC? And the answer, Sir Minus?
That's joyful service.
Yes. Congratulations to everyone who had answered the question correct. And for that, our winner for that question is?
Yeah. Our winner for the question of the episode last May 10, 2023 is Ma'am Jenny Lee Esperanza.
And
Ayan,
congratulations, Ma'am Jenny Lee Esperanza.
Okay. You may claim your prize at the office of the College of Commerce Secretarial and Accountancy, ma'am. All right. So, I think we're ready to meet
Yes.
our guests for
Yes,
today.
partner, we can.
As you have shared a while ago, no, your experiences so far as a student leader, it's a perfect timing because we'll be
Yes.
meeting our former officers
Correct.
of the College Student Council.
Yes.
And of course, we encourage our online audience to ask questions also, no, so that later on, we'll be reading that question here and we'll be asking our guests for that. All right, so now I think we are ready to meet the champions of leadership as we call them and introduce them one by one.
First, let us have the College Supreme Student Council President of 1999 to 2000. Now, the Associate Unit Manager of AIA Philippines, Ms. Charity Ann A. Ines.
Let's also meet our one of our former student council officers, the College Supreme Student Council President of 2001 to 2002, and the Chief Executive Officer of the New Media Services Australia, and a practicing lawyer. Let us all welcome Attorney Rafael D. Nacionales Jr.
Good morning, sir. Of course, we also have the College Supreme Student Council Vice President of 2001 to 2002. And of course, he is now the Chief Administrative Officer of Administrative and Finance Division of Regional Adjudication Branch 1. None other than Dr. Nino Ramir H. Saavedra.
And of course, let me also introduce the College Supreme Student Council President of 2003 to 2004 and the current Provincial Tourism Officer of the Provincial Government of La Union. Let us all welcome Mr. Arthur S. Cortez Jr.
And last but not the least, the College Student Council President of 2012 to 2013, who is the Tax Assistant Manager at Deloitte, Philippines, none other than Mr. Isle E.J. A. Gerlan.
All right, so once again, let's welcome the pillars of student leadership in SLC through the years.
Yes, and let us not also forget for our online viewers to use again the hashtag SLCTKTL whenever we are going to post or share our live streaming today.
And so I guess our former student leaders are very much ready,
Yes,
and they are
Sir
armed
Minus.
with their stories and experiences to share to all of us. And I believe our on-site and online viewers are very much ready also to listen to them. So let's start our first segment, our first question. And let me give our first question to our guests. Okay? Ayan. So here's our first question. Getting through that nostalgic feeling, kindly share to us your story on how you became a student leader here in St. Louis College.
Let's start from Sir Art.
Hello. Hello, good morning everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to be back at SLC. Actually started my leadership journey in SLC since high school. I was also student council president of Central Student Council, if I remember it right, during my high school years. So basically, it started there. Then I took my tertiary on the same institution, SLC, and I started also as mayor, no, sa ASED IT department that time, then up to governor, down to vice president. Then during my time, during the fourth year, no, I was elected as president of the student council for the collegiate level. So talagang si SLC ang nag-mold sa akin for leadership, for student leadership.
It was really a process, Sir
Yes.
Art.
So nag-start ako nung high school. So nung high school, I was like also class president, club officer. Then nakita na may potential, so I also pushed myself to just try it, and I was happy naman to experience those things.
That's really wonderful, Sir Art. Now, let us have Miss Charity. Ano naman po sa inyo experience niyo before?
Good morning everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
Okay, this is probably, this story is very interesting. And this is probably the biggest plot twist of my college life story. Why? Because I never wanted to become a president. Honestly, I was eyeing for the editor-in-chief of the Louisian Torch. I was never a, what do you call that? I was never a student leader, even in my high school. Even when I was in high school, I was never a student leader. So, when I was when I was a freshman, I already applied as a writer, or to be a part of the writers pool of the Louisian Torch, because the goal was when I become a senior, I want to be the editor-in-chief. So that was my goal, and that was the path I wanted to take. Unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, but you know, as they say, we can plan, but God directs our steps, right? So, when I was in third year, I was asked to run, because I was never really a student leader. I was asked to run for a student council position. I was a mayor, and then when I was in fourth year college, I was asked again to run as the student council president. And I kept telling our then dean, no, I don't want to be a student leader. I am not a student leader. I want to be on the sidelines. I want to write.
So what pushed you through, ma'am?
Well, what pushed me was we had a good deal. Our then dean, we had a good deal. She told us that whoever is gonna win the presidency, I had a competitor. So whoever wins the presidency will be the president, and whoever loses will be the editor-in-chief. So that was a win-win situation, right? Yes. And that was the one that convinced me to run. And then again, as what I said, God directs our steps. We can plan all we want, but you know, God directs our steps.
And you had a good run.
I did.
Yes.
It was a, you know, the feeling that you didn't want it, but at the end of the day, you will say that, oh, this is what I wanted all along. Yeah. This is what I felt, or this is what I think I wanted to do, but at the end of the day, this is what I was called to do.
Yes, that's really wonderful, Ma'am Charity,
Yes.
because it develops within us.
Yes.
In time.
Yeah, but that was a difficult choice,
It was.
between the two loves that you have.
It was.
Okay, so
Now-
let's proceed with Attorney Paeng or Attorney Rafael.
Good morning, SLC. Nice to be back. I was also a graduate of St. Louis College High School, but I was never a student leader back then. So it was when I was a freshman here in St. Louis College, I was elected as mayor, also during my sophomore years. But third year, I was elected as the PRO. And from that, I ran for presidency. When I ran for presidency, it was a slippery slope because I was up against, of course, an equally qualified candidate for that position. But I belong from the AS Ed department. The voting population back then was, the highest voting population belonged to the CSA department, the College of Commerce, Secretarial, and Accountancy Department. I think that accounted for 75% of the voting population.
wow.
So it was a slippery slope. So still, I went through my way, out of my comfort zone, head on. So I was elected as president of College Supreme Student Council, we call it that time.
That's a good story, Sir Minus, right?
Actually, I can relate because I am also from the Caste IT before, and that's a challenge, the voting population.
Yes.
But both of us, attorney, actually, we were able to win the presidency.
That's right. It was
problem.
very overwhelming, Sir Chris, because I think the margin was 700 votes. It was an unexpected, vote margin for me.
Yes.
I am getting inspired. What more to our online and on-site
Yes.
audience?
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Paeng. And with that, we also have Dr. Nino. Can you share us your experience, your nostalgic experience po?
Thank you, sir, and good morning to everyone. Just like Attorney Paeng, I also didn't plan for any position. Kasi when I was in high school, my plan was to go home and watch the 3 p.m. na cartoons. And then in college, I also didn't have any plans. Kagaya ni Manang Tita Charity. Tita Charity was eyeing the editor-in-chief. Me, I was eyeing for a daily allowance and to go home at 4 o'clock. And then I enrolled, when I was in second year, that was the time when you were the president already, I was enrolled in statistics. And we did have low grades statistics. And our teacher was then Dr. Gloria Subala. And then she told us, she was encouraging everybody to be a member of Rotaract. But for 2 weeks, walang nag-member. And then, after 2 weeks, she said, I'll be giving plus points. So everybody in the class became a member of Rotaract. And it paved the way for other positions. Kasi I was a mayor already in third year. And then in third year naman, I was encouraged by Ma'am Nelia Espenueva because I was working with the Guidance Center as a peer facilitator, and she told me, with Ma'am Myla Lucina, they told me na, oh, you run for mayor. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, gusto ko umuwi ng 4 o'clock. But since mababait sila, so I ran for mayor. And then in fourth year, our dear president here, si Attorney Paeng, talked to me. And sabi niya na, would you be my running mate for the party as the vice president? But now I'm thinking, Attorney Paeng, that was your marketing strategy because I come from the CCSA and we have the 75% voting population. So, yun, very good strategy, Attorney Paeng. He won 700 votes, I won 500 votes, diba? Tama? Yun.
Yeah.
Yun. That's for fourth year.
That's a good memory, Dr. Nino. So you both are running mates during that time.
He was my boss. Until now, he is my boss.
And we have learned a good strategy to win a student council election. All right, so let's also hear from Sir Ail.
So basically, I started my journey as a student leader when I was in high school. But since I took accountancy, I think I need to focus on my studies. But during second year, I ran as CCSA mayor. Then, fortunately, I won. But running for presidency is a last-minute decision for me. And to be honest, my first reason in running for presidency during that time is that because I need the scholarship. So, because during third year, Dinancheta, she's our teacher, no? And I think bibihira lang nakaka-line of 8 sa kanya. And I think if magkaka-line of 7 ako, malalaglag ako sa scholarship. So it was a last-minute decision for me to run for presidency. Then after that, I won. And when I see the votes, I felt like I don't want to disappoint those who believed in me. That's why when I started my presidency, I give my best na. So
Yes.
that's it. Then actually Dr. Ancheta also before kasi of course we also wanted a top notcher sa accountancy. So she discouraged me, to be honest, na mag-run. And all the accountancy students. But after that, na I won, I became president. Sumunod yung dalawang accountancy rin na president. So I think that's a good move for me.
Yes, that's correct, Sir Minus. Tama, there is really a struggle for the accountancy students way back then, even now, actually, because mahirap talagang makapasok sa line of 8 talaga ng
That's
accountancy.
true. But Sir Al became an inspiration to their department because
That's
after
correct.
him, another CCSE president was
Yes.
elected. So I think that's for 2 years, two consecutive
Yes.
years.
And
There.
that is actually a motivation, no, for students na this is not their limitation to be student council officers, even though you are under the accountancy program.
That's true. And hearing from the responses of our guests, it was really an inspiring story of their
Yes,
journey
indeed
about
it
their
is.
leadership here in St. Louis College.
Just an addition, Sir Minus, I just want to ask you guys, what actually want to know who is or who are your role models and your inspirations as leaders during your time? Can we start with Sir Ail naman?
As leaders, I think I'm not a fan of any leader, to be honest, no. But I'm a fan of my mother, and I saw my mother as a very hardworking woman, and I think that because I think she loves what she's doing, and I think that leadership is not a job. So if you treat it as a passion, kasi you'll never get exhausted. That's why I think my mother is my inspiration during the
Yes. And not just an inspiration, and they also lead us to be a better person as well. Thank you so much, Sir Ail. How about Ma'am Charity?
As for me, I really looked up to my predecessor, Kuya Nino, before, because he was so intelligent and he was so deep in thought. Nino Medina, hindi nyo na yata naabutan si Nino Medina. But we call him, I always saw him as Kuya kasi. So, whenever we talk, we would always talk about life, and he would always teach me na you always have to be yourself and to be kind. That's why,
That's right.
yeah, that's why I always looked up to him as a leader as well. It was Kuya
Yeah,
Nino.
that's a good inspiration and an
Yes.
influence as a student leader.
Yes,
Thank you, Ma'am
yes.
Charity.
Okay, let's also hear from Sir Art.
Similar to what Al said, I don't actually have anything in mind or role model in terms of leadership. But I'd always go back to the basics. Like my parents would always be an inspiration. So parang I'd always wanted them to be proud of me. And my parents raised me so well. And this is the very reason why I really pushed myself too hard to be able to serve people, to translate the values I've learned from my parents to sharing it to people and serving people. That's basically what I have in mind right now.
How about you, Attorney Rafael?
I think my father. I still recall when he told me that do not bargain away your principles. Stand by your principles and your values that you hold so close, even if it means standing alone. Having integrity, and you will go a long way. And from a very early age, that was already inculcated in me. So I guess I thank my father for serving as my inspiration and model in so far as the leadership is concerned.
That's so deep, Sir Minus.
Yes.
Right? Standing through your principles.
And now attorney is a practicing lawyer.
Yeah.
Diba?
He carried it on
Yeah, that's a
through
very
his
applicable
career.
principle in life.
Yes. How about you, Dr. Nino?
Gagayahin ko na din yung sagot nila. But my mom has also inspired me. She was the sole solo parent that sent me to school. And then she would always remind me that mahirap lang tayo, okay? And you give your best. But because I was also aiming for scholarship. And then when I was a student leader already, I saw our Tita Charity, whom we admire most, because sabi ko nga, I was telling Manang Charity kanina of the achievements during her term, because it also inspired your successors po. And then when you graduated, syempre my president is my role model during that time. Lahat ng sinabi niya, lahat ng inutos ng president, I never disagreed with Attorney Paeng. I said yes, lagi kay Attorney Paeng. And I was his hands and feet. Kasi he was the brain of the group. He would plan, he would let us implement it. Kahit lagi akong pinapagalitan ni Attorney Paeng noon, I really admire these two leaders. And even, siyempre, yung mga sumunod, and si batchmate na Aisle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nino. That's a wonderful share and impression to start our discussion, di ba, Sir Minus? How about you, sir? Sino naman ang naging inspirasyon mo noong naging student leader ka ng CSC?
For me, I was inspired before by Dr. Wilfred Cabawatan. He was then the department head of the social sciences. And he was the one who saw the potential in me. He pushed me to a lot of opportunities to attend to, and that's, I think, the beginning of my leadership journey as well. And I can relate to the stories that was shared by our guest for today, because that's how student leadership here in St. Louis College works. Yes. We inspire each other. I was also inspired by my ates and kuyas before, and that led me to the continuous journey of leadership here. All right, so with that excitement then pushing through, let's have a little twist of entertainment from our guest interviewees today, Jed.
Okay, Sir Minus, let's do some fast talk after this short break. So we'll be right back after this commercial.
Here are the attributes of a Louisian graduate. Louisians are Christ-centered. They should practice Christian values in all aspects of their lives, exhibit commitment to the evangelization of the church, and manifest Filipino and Louisian values. Louisians are mission-oriented. They should practice CICM advocacies, respond to the needs of the church and society by actively participating in missionary activities, and engage in sustainable community development activities by reaching out to the marginalized members of the community. Louisians are professionally competent. They should practice their profession in accordance with moral and ethical standards and existing laws. Demonstrate expertise and proficiency in the practice of their profession, and communicate effectively both orally and in writing using varied forms of media. Louisians are lifelong learners. They should continue to grow professionally to cope with the demands of a dynamic society. Practice critical and creative thinking in providing solutions to societal and global concerns, and collaborate effectively in multidisciplinary and multicultural contexts. Once a Louisian, always a Louisian.
And now we're back here live in Cafe Luis, Sir Minus.
Yes, and we want to remind once again our online and on-site audience to please use our official hashtag SLCTKTL in sharing this live and in posting your photos or your insights about this segment. All right, so a while ago, we mentioned that we'll be having an exciting activity with our guests, and that's our Fast Talk. Okay, so let me give them the guidelines or the instructions for this one. So we will be providing a set of options or questions. Then you'll have to respond as fast as you can. So kung ano na agad yung pumasok sa isip ninyo, yun na yun.
Yun na yun, yes. So let's start. Former officers. So let's do the fast talk now. So let's start from Miss Charity.
Ako
Yes
talaga.
po.
Tatita.
Mag-start tayo, tita.
Okay.
So first, ma'am, during your term, leadership or academics?
Leadership.
Tree planting or coastal cleanup?
Tree planting.
Favorite place in SLC?
Guidance center.
Torch editor-in-chief or CSSC president?
Well, CSSC president now.
What was your favorite snack before in the CSSC office?
Oh, I love those brownies from the canteen with Coke na nakabaso lang with the
Yes.
Vendo, yeah? And then the brownies, I don't know, it was just like 5 pesos then. So I love those.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Charity.
All right, let's proceed to Attorney Paeng. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's start. By the book or by the heart?
By the heart.
Civil law or criminal law?
Criminal law.
Why?
That's my highest in the bar exam.
Early bird?
Yes.
Wow. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Extracurricular or academics?
Extracurricular.
Compromise or winning attitude?
Winning attitude.
Wow. Thank you, attorney.
Okay, now next, let us have Dr. Nino. Are you ready, sir?
Hinahinay lang, sir.
Mabilisan daw.
Fast talk, sir.
Fast talk.
Okay.
Wala bang slow talk?
Okay.
Sige, sir.
Okay, let's start, Dr. Nino. Intrams as CSA governor or intrams as CSSC vice president?
CSSC Vice President.
Logical or practical?
Practical.
Legislative Assembly or Executive Committee?
Siyempre, nandyan yung boss ko. Executive.
Silliest moment in the CSSC office?
Ay, kala ko ba fast talk din?
Go ahead, sir.
Silliest moment?
Yes.
Ala, sorry po. Using yung stampad ni Dean Carbonell to excuse my classmates.
That was really silly. Guidance office or CSSC office?
Guidance office.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Nino.
Okay,
Yeah, thank
this
you.
time, let's proceed to Sir Art. All right, sir, are you ready?
Hello. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, smart or good looking?
Smart.
Alone or in group?
In group.
Food tripping, Willis or Johnny Rose?
Willis.
Talipapa or Luneta?
Talipapa.
Greatest year in your college journey and why?
During my term as SSC president.
Indeed. Thank you, Sir Art.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Art. Now, last but not the least, Sir Isle. Ready na po ba? Ayan.
Yes, I'm ready.
Medyo na-conscious yata si Sir Isle. Okay, let's start, Sir Isle. First, PE or NSTP?
PE kasi ayaw ko nabibilad.
Jack of all trades or master of one?
Jack of all trades.
Okay. Achieving easily your goal or standing up to your principal?
Standing up to your principal.
Why, sir?
Because anything can achieve their goal, such as financial success or what, but only some of us maintain our integrity.
That's nice. Mr. Intrams or CSC president?
CSC president,
To be popular or to be impactful?
to be impactful.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for being a good sport with that fast talk.
Okay, so now getting in touch again with your leadership journey here in St. Louis College, we want to hear about your significant projects or major advocacies this time that your council spearheaded. So can you please give us a glimpse about this projects, programs, and major advocacies?
So let's have Attorney Paeng.
Yes.
Okay, just a backgrounder. During my stint as president, we saw the advent of student activism. In fact, there were 5 members of the executive council, 5 presidents, club presidents, who were pressuring me to use student activism and public demonstration as a way to air their grievances. Okay? I had a difficulty dealing with the situation at that time. Okay? There was even a move, which I don't know if my vice president knew about this. There was a move for me to be impeached if I would not accede to their requests for student activism. There was even a threat to infiltrate the Louisian torch at that time. That's why I spoke with the editor-in-chief, Mr. Jerome Villanueva, to be careful with the articles published in the Louisian torch. So the pressure was on at that time. So I went to Dr. Remedios Marinas, and she was very receptive of me. So I told her the problem, but she just said, "What do you think, Rafi?" Or Paeng, she said. Then that minute, I had to to give an alternative. I am not against student activism,
Yes,
okay? But at that time, I was weighing my mandate as president of the council, which is actually to help improve the school community, okay? Not to disrupt the learning process, not to create polarization, or not to instigate violence. That I felt was my mandate at that time. So between the request for student activism and my mandate, I chose my mandate. So I said to Dr. Marinas, "Ma'am, would it be okay if we give these people a forum?" Because I've always believed in the power of communication. I've always believed in the power of dialogue. So Dr. Marinas said, "All right, let's have a student forum." That was the time we initiated the student forum, purposely to eradicate student activism. That experience made me realize that if you want to cripple something, okay, do not use the means by which it thrives. So give the students a platform to speak their minds. That was a simple solution. Instead of going, out on the streets, doing laundry publicly. So give them the opportunity. Now, interestingly, irony of ironies, the 5 club presidents never stood up to ask any question during the student forum. Like I said, do not cripple something by the very means by which it grows.
Thank you, Attorney Paeng. Have you experienced that as well as part of the CSSC before, Dr. Nino?
We have never talked about it, Attorney Paeng, but there were whispers during that time. But I thought to myself that I would not be able to, I would not do it. You know why? I am really indebted to Attorney Paeng because he was the one who gave his scholarship to me. When he passed the CSSC scholarship to me, kasi I was removed from the dean's list na because of below 18 units. So I'm really indebted because I would say I was loyal to Attorney Paeng. And then there were whispers already, Attorney, during that time.
Yeah.
But the whole executive team have backed you up. You could attest to that.
Yes. And
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not disclose that matter to you that time. I took it upon myself and I brought it to Dr. Remedios Marinas, the college president back then.
yes. And it is really hard to mitigate those kinds of problems back then because, we need to approach the student body without eyeing on some arguments or some negative feedbacks from them. That is well-rounded, well-versed discussion for them to have a student forum.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Ma'am Charity, do you have anything in mind regarding?
We actually didn't have student forums, really before, and it was only after 2 years after me. It was. Is it still in force now? Student forums?
Yes, we still have a student forum till now.
Oh, well, that's a good ano. But during our time, the major achievements or the major projects we had were like Clean and Green, our projects like during intramurals. Those were the projects that we handled before. I remember the grills on the near the CSC office. And do you still call it SPS office now? Student Affairs Office.
Yes.
It's Sao now, ma'am.
Sao.
Sao.
Yes.
Ah,
po,
Sao now. So those grills were by our batch, and I think it was their reign in wherein it was painted.
Yeah, we repainted
laid
it, Miss Charity.
Yeah. So we laid the grills, and then those were our projects before.
Yes, okay. But as we can see now, the Student Affairs Office, there's no longer the grills
Yeah.
na nandun kasi it's student
center
na
or
siya.
students lounge.
Students lounge na siya. Mas pinalaki na po yung ano niya, area niya. There.
With all the plants and
Is it still below the gym? You know, the stairs.
Yes,
Yes.
it's still there.
Okay.
Yes po. Okay, with that, Sir Art, any leadership journey that you are in touch with for your project and programs during your time?
I remember myself telling during my inauguration or even during the campaign period, ito yung promise ko sa mga sa mga estudyante that time, that if there are 1,000 steps between the College Supreme Student Council and the students, they don't have to walk the 1,000 steps. All they have to do is take the first step, and I will take the 999 steps left just to be there for them. Because the CSSC is basically there to care for them. So that's the message of my administration or of my term. I think that I'm able to, at that time, make the students feel that there is a CSSC that cares for them. We want, at that time, mostly kasi yung mga projects then I would be honest na parang, kumbaga, tinuloy. Because the Green Louisian movement, the usual affairs of the school, yung intramurals, foundation day, the CSSC night and all. But maybe may level up naman. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na pareho yung ginawa sa batch ni ganito. There's always an innovation. And we wanted a platform for, at that time, for our students to air their grievances, yan na-mention ni attorney, to engage them and to be able to involve them in the planning and implementation of activities. So, yun yung naalala ko na story or message that my term shared to the students that time. Thank you.
All right, so the theme of Sir Art is bringing the student council closer
Yes.
to the Louisians or to the students during that time.
That's wonderful. Now, let us also have Mr. Isle Gerlan.
During my administration, I think one of the major advocacies or significant projects is the adoption of barangays, specifically Nagyubayuban. So it is not only the College Student Council, but also all the clubs talaga. So we trained them, no? Collaboration doon ang lahat ng clubs, SPICE, HRM, JP, etc. So we're going to the communities and reaching out to them, then teaching them about livelihood. Then that's one. Then of course yung I don't know kung nandiyan pa yung Freedom Park. May Freedom Park pa ba tayo? Ay, Alumni Park. Na siya
Alumni
ngayon.
Park,
So,
okay.
I think
Yeah.
some of our funds were allotted for that, and water fountain ata. But I think during that time we also increased student engagement, because for the longest time talaga we did not join the SBO Federation na Student Council kasi lagi tayong natatalo, etc. So during my batch talaga nakiusap ako kay Father na please Father Sales during that time na for the last time allow us to join this. And unfortunately, first runner-up lang tayo sa cheer dance. But I did not consider it as a loss. Kasi when I saw that Seiya, Casta IT Cream, and CSSA are cheering for one Louisian community, I think that is the price of that student
Yes.
engagement sa plaza.
As
So,
always.
never ko makakalimutan yun during my term. Ayun lang.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sir Isle. And with that, we also want to ask, based from your experience, what are some challenges in the council that you had before, and maybe know what are those? As a whole na lang po. Can we start from Ms. Charity?
I think during our time, it was the gathering of the officers, the gathering of the presidents. Because, you know, at that time, we didn't have cell phones yet. Cell phones were only for the rich, you know, for the nakakaangat. So, you know, gathering them, fixing or getting a schedule for us to be able to meet, then that's a difficult part of being a leader.
Yes.
Gathering all your people.
In terms of communication.
Yes, in terms of communication.
In fact, Miss Charity, if I remember it right, we used the whiteboard
Yes.
at the lobby.
Yes.
Southern lobby. We
Yes. Yes.
meeting.
We would write a meeting on like this, and well, some would attend, some would not. So that's it.
So that there is the announcement bulletin board or something like that. Oh, okay, for them. Well, now in this modern we use group chat na kasi po, di ba?
Well,
Group chat,
Group
Zoom.
chat, yes.
We had the talipapa.
Oh.
So all the officers would just stay there. Dalawa lang yung pinupuntahan eh. Talipapa and then Generous Canteen.
or Willies.
Or Willis, tatlo pala. Diba? Kasi we didn't have any problem naman with setting eh. Kasi setting of schedule. Kasi we had a time, common time already. That at in the afternoon,
I think
I'm not
that's 3
sure.
o'clock in the
3
afternoon.
o'clock in the afternoon, all the officers would be in the talipapa.
Oh.
Or kung wala yung mga nandun nga kay Willis o kaya kay Generous na kumakain nung pansit.
Okay.
So it's 3 o'clock for them, but now we have the activity hour.
Yes.
That's 4 to
4 to
5:30.
5. Which is usually used for meetings of the
Yes,
council,
ma'am.
for other events of the club, especially. How about you, Sir Art?
Nung time ko, parang wala masyado. But meron akong naalala na situation kasi meron tayong parang suggestion box or something dun sa CSSC office that time. Tapos parang may naglagay doon ng lifestyle check for CSSC officers, mga ganon. So
Yes.
at that time, nagulat kami. Hindi ko alam kung ano ibig sabihin ng lifestyle check na the message that was sent to us. Kasi wala naman kaming kinurakot. Wala naman kaming kinuha sa kaban ng SLC or sa funds ng council, no. So maybe we interpreted it as maybe yung parang the way we carry ourselves outside the school, kasi minsan siyempre nakikita ako, kasi I'm very outgoing. After school, I just find time to also unwind and just drink beer. So maybe merong nakakita na nagwalwal ako at that time. So parang I actually remember writing an article about it in our Louisian Torch to address that issue raised to the CSSC that time. And sinabi ko na, syempre, we are just humans also. Na leaders would always have also parang time for themselves, ganyan. So, pero at the end of the day, syempre, our constituents or our colleagues will always look up to us. Yes. So, learning experience yan, parang lesson learned that we always have to be at our best foot sa pag-deal sa mga kasamahan natin, parang setting the role model talaga pag ikaw ay isang leader, especially you're occupying the highest seat or highest positions in the campus.
Yes, and it's really quite common to have issues, specifically when you are in the student council.
All eyes on you.
Yes, tama yun, Sir Minus. Most especially when we're serving the student body. Maraming masasabi. But it's part of the leadership trail that we have. So, having said that, thank you so much, guys. With that, Sir Minus?
Yeah. Also, with all those challenges, how were you able to manage to resolve those issues or challenges along the way? Because this is actually also a good time to hear those measures that you were able to use as an advice for our future CSC officers who are also here watching us live on site, and who are actually, and of course our high school students are also here. So with all those issues, how were you able to address those issues or challenges? I guess we can start with Sir Isle.
Yes, sir.
So I think a major challenge kasi during my batch is, of course, it's a team, different personality, no? But I think the purpose of leadership is to make everyone inclusive, to make it inclusive, di ba? So if you can prove naman na your objective and every opinions are being considered, and it's for the best of the student council, no? I think the officers will also follow naman. So ayun lang.
Yes. So having said that, of course, from the CSSC officers naman po, how about you guys? How did you manage to have a solution for that kind of problems?
Sa amin, during the batch, the administration of Attorney Paeng, he would have a daily meeting with us. And then if there are conflicts, kasi during that time, laging nagagalit si Attorney Paeng. Lagi kami pinapagalitan kasi laro kami ng laro, attorney, may salita siya ng salita sa meeting, tapos kami nagkwekwentuhan. Tapos magagalit yan. Iikot niya yung upuan niya. Parang dean na noon eh. Pero, kahit pinapagalitan kami, I, as the second highest ranking officer, would not even question Attorney Paeng. I would talk to the other officers na, normal lang yan, ni Paeng data kasta talaga.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, all those plans by our dear President, we were able to implement it. Yun lang. Daily talk. I think that would solve the conflict.
Yes. That's very nice to hear because communication is always the key to solve things. So, Sir Maynes?
Yes, so with that, that's actually a nice breakthrough to think of, and we all hope that our future student leaders and leaders may pander into these kinds of solutions that our guests have shared for
especially
today.
the incoming College Student Council 39th term.
And we have learned from them that communication is really the key towards the success of any kind of organization or council.
So as much as we don't want to stop your excitement, we'll get through a put a finger down challenge and value-based discussion later on after this short break.
Okay, so stay tuned as the Taripnong and Tungtungan Louisiano continues.
Don't forget the hashtag SLCTKTL. And we're back live again here at the Cafe Luis of St. Louis College for the Taripnong and Tungtungan ti Luwisyano.
All right, so a while ago, we were able to listen to the experiences, projects, and programs of the former officers of the College Student Council. And from there, no, hindi syempre mawawala ang essence ng participation ng audience natin dito sa Cafe Luis.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have audiences here in the studio and also online. So with that, my dear former officers, we will be having a question by studio here in the audience. So let us now give the chance for our audience, our students, to ask questions directed unto you.
So let's have our first officer from the high school department.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adrian Benauro from Grade 12 STEM Strand in the Central Student Council of the Senior High School. Without a doubt, this room is filled with notable people who have procured exemplary merits in their differing pursuits in life. However, often we do not talk about what lies shrouded behind the scenes, such as inevitable losses and unfulfilled goals. My question is, how did the failures and challenges that you have encountered help in molding your characters and values as leaders in your profession, as well as in your journey as a student leader before? And how can you empower the youth to be empathetic, resilient, and versatile, sage in decision-making and delegation, and diligent or grounded in risk-taking and innovation? Thank you po.
Okay, that was really a good, an
very
in-depth
detailed
question.
question.
Yes. So, can we ponder to answer those questions, my dear former officers?
Medyo humihinga na sila ng malalim.
Knowing that from a high school student galing yung tanong, no? Very rich ang question. Who'd want to answer the question po?
Any volunteer? Recitation?
Recitation. Law school.
Oo, law school.
Attorney Paeng daw.
All right. If you are passionate in something, there are no failures, only lessons to learn. So it's up to you to take those lessons, use them as your grounding stones to achieve your goals. What's the second?
How can you empower the youth?
How can you empower the youth?
Through those challenges.
Okay. There are always challenges in life. Okay? That is inevitable. Okay? So it's up to you how to take these challenges. Like I said, it's either you take it as a failure or a stumbling block, or you take it as a lesson. Okay? And how do we empower the youth? Probably I would leave you with this statement. Get out of your comfort zone. Be a role model to other people. I think you will make a difference in the society if you just do simple things, and that simple things would ripple and would create a rippling effect to other people. So be a role model in the smallest way you can.
Thank you, Attorney Paeng, for that answer. And I think the other officers actually agreed to his answer.
Yes, we agreed.
Oo, they agreed.
Narinig ko yung yes nila kanina.
Resounding yes, actually.
We hope that the officers truly suffice your question. Now, we also have a question coming from the college. Okay. We also have a question from the online viewers of this live streaming. Sir Minus, we are ready for the question.
So, let's read the question. Yeah, this question is coming from Miss Alessandria Yvonne Colos. So, good day po, dearest CSSC presidents. Here is my question. As a former CSSC president, what are your realizations po given with all the challenges and issues during your term? So again, I would repeat the question. What are your realizations given with all the challenges and issues during your term?
Yes. Actually, it's nice to start with the CSC officer naman. Because a while ago, CSSC officer answered the question. Now, let us deal with the CSC naman this time.
Sir Isle.
Sorry. For the realizations, I think it's leadership, sabi ko nga, is a passion. No? It comes naturally. And when you treat it as a passion, you'll never get exhausted. And at the end of the day, what matters for me is I have a team that is compact. No? I'd rather miss the goal rather than sacrificing the unity of my team. So that's how, because I value people too much. And I think if we value one another talaga, every goal naman kasi, you achieve it or not, nakadepende yun sa contentment ng isang team.
Yes. I think that's what inspired me with the team of Sir Isle before, because I was a first-year student before and I really saw them really compact as a team in the College Student Council.
It's visible.
Yeah.
Their ambitions are visible within the student body. That's nice. Yes, Sir Dr. Nino.
Yeah. Sa realization now, all the things that we did during the our leadership stint contributed to what we have, what we are now. Especially with confidence, diba? With dealing with other people, it really helps. That's why we are telling the new leaders now, you just continue because that will be very helpful. Second is that during that 4-year stay, we met friends. Kasi we
Lifelong
were
friends.
Yes, we were with the team Monday to Saturday or Sunday. Until now, my friends, we have a contact with the other officers. And then yun nga, friendship.
Yes.
Friendship.
That's right, Dr. Nino. And I can attest to that because I also experienced to have new friends in the council and even into other institutional clubs as well, especially the Louisian Torch.
From CSC officers turned to families.
Yes, that's correct. With that perfect bond na kailangan for a council.
And that's how strong student leadership here in SLC is.
Yes, that's correct, Sir Minus. So, moving forward to our segment proper, we will be showing you, my dear club officers, council officers of the past CSSC and CSC, some pictures or images way back during your term as officers.
Throwback. This is a
throwback.
throwback picture, actually.
So,
Alright.
ayan,
This
first
one.
picture. We have from,
I think this is Dr. Nino.
yes, kay Dr. Nino yata ito.
Yan. Hindi pa uso ang gluten yan eh.
Yeah, that's Michael
Nasa
Nebriha.
nagyubuyuban kami.
Yeah.
That's Maris Tidayak Multipurpose Cooperative. I was with Attorney Michael Nebriha, who was then the PRO of we had that outreach then during that time. Tumakas lang kami kasi si President busy siya dun sa may covered court kaya umalis kami naghanap ng coke. Yan, yung picture na yan.
So this is actually sari-sari store po na pinagbilhan niyo ng...
Hindi, that's
An
the
extension.
cooperative
Okay.
ng meron silang sari-sari store.
Okay.
Diba? That's the multipurpose cooperative established with the help of St. Louis College.
So this is an extension program.
Yeah, extension program.
Okay. So that's nice. So we have a throwback from the year of Dr. Nino. Sir Attorney Rafael, do you have something in mind during that time?
Yeah, I just recall Attorney Nebriha, our PRO back then. Yeah, at this time I think was the cooperative law was enacted, so that we were strengthening the cooperative sector of Nagyubuyuban through the help of our extension office.
So during that time, that was very timely.
And I think the cooperative is still operational until now.
I'm not sure.
I think so, yeah. I
I'm not
think so.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's very sustainable.
Yes, that's true, Sir Minus. Next picture we have from the social center,
Yeah, I think that's Sir Isle.
Sir Ay.
Yeah.
So, ayun, I was wearing pink. No. And I think ito ay CSE Busel Leadership Training.
Oh, okay.
So, para yan sa mga new breed of officers.
Si Sir Ay yung naka-pink.
Yes.
Correct? Ayan. Sa likod ni former advisor nila si Ma'am Marife
Marife,
Rimando.
yes.
Ayan.
And I'm also a product of that. He mentioned of the Busel Leadership Training.
So, can you share us what happened during that time, Sir Ay?
For Busel Leadership Training kasi ito yung mga aspiring CSE officers. So, more of team building talaga siya.
Okay. I still hear that now the Busel, which is a major project of Rotaract Club here in SLC. So that's great. With that, let's do the put a finger down challenge. Sir Minus, ready ka na ba?
Of course, we came prepared.
Former officers, ready na po ba kayo? Ayan, put a finger down. So, Sir Minus, kindly introduce to them how this game is done.
For this segment, all you have to do is to raise your 5 fingers. And if ever you can relate to the statement that we'll be reading, all you have to do is to put one of your fingers down. And at the end of this segment, if you were the ones having those most fingers down, then you will be considered as the most experienced.
Yes.
Magkakaroon ng bragging rights to be the most experienced.
Pinakamaraming naranasan during their
Indeed.
time.
Okay, so I guess our former student leaders are ready to accept the challenge.
Yes, Sir Minus. So let's start.
Okay, with our first statement.
Put your finger down if you had once got a different perspective with that of your advisor. Oh, lahat sila.
Just once?
Just
Just
once.
once.
For,
Just kidding.
okay.
It means a lot. So you have to put all your fingers down.
Ayan. So next, Sir Minus?
Next. Put your finger down if you had a crush with any of your fellow CSC officer before.
Ay, wala.
Naku, wala. Purely work ang ginawa
work.
nila.
Professional living
Sa
talaga
ibang
sila.
department, meron.
Ay, sa ibang department. What department po, ma'am siya?
Engineering, I
Oo.
think.
Exactly.
Sa engineering daw.
Engineering daw si Ma'am Cha. Okay, next, put your finger down if you skipped class to finish a CSC project.
Can you relate, Jed?
I think we can all relate.
from each
Right? Parang lahat sila nagbaba ng finger.
Ilang beses?
Ikaw, sir, ilang beses po ba? Kailangan mag-skip ng class para matapos yung project.
Alright, next statement. Put your finger down if you missed a family or relative gathering or celebration because you have to attend a school program. We can really relate.
The dedication, right?
Yes.
It's the dedication.
That's right. May dedication talaga. Last but not the least, put your finger down if you are now living up to the values that you have learned as student leaders in SLC. Lahat sila. Parang lahat sila isa ang natira.
Oo. So, all of them are experienced.
Yes. All of them are experienced. Wala lang talagang crush during their time as
very serious.
office. Yes, very
work
serious.
is work for them. Okay? So, may nag-draw sila ng line. Okay? Ayan. So, what a beautiful segment we had there, Jed, for this Put Your Finger Down activity. And thank you so much to our former Executive Council officers for allowing us to know you better as student leaders and, of course, as persons of inspiration.
That's correct, Sir Minus. We have learned so much from this conversation. And with that, we also want to hear from you some inspirational words for our learners, to our incoming officers who aspire to be part of a leadership trail. Can we start from Ma'am Charity?
To the youth who wants to become a leader, leadership is not always easy. you have to be, as what they say, your best self when you become a leader. But with kindness and empathy, you will be able to learn that people have different views from you, and that you should be able to respect that. When you have different, or when you have officers in your team, you will always have, because people are always different. So there should always be empathy, and you will be able to learn resilience once you become a leader. You'll be able to adjust to a lot of things, because not everything go as planned. So you will always have to be able to adjust to things. So that's where your resilience will come in.
Thank you, Ma'am Charity, for that. How about you, Dr. Nino?
Thank you. Ganito yung itsura ko habang nagsasalita kayo. When you were the president, for my advice, only 3 things. First is yung acronym ng St. Louis, SLC. S is for service. You serve. Kaya nga, we had the mission, di ba? You serve without any question. L would be love. Love what you're doing. As you could see, all the student leaders did love what they were doing. Makita mo, di ba? We missed family events just to be with the school. C would be commitment. When we set objectives or goals, we find ways to reach those goals. Yun lang for the new leaders now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nino.
All right, so let's also proceed with Sir Art.
Hello. To our current CSSC officers and aspiring CSSC officers also, I would say that just give your best, no? Because I know that being in this journey is a promising journey. Parang kumbaga, you will only pass this way or this road once. So any kindness you can show, any sacrifice you can bear, any burden you can carry, any pain you can endure, and any good thing you can show, do it now, because you may never pass this way again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Art. This time, we proceed with Attorney Paeng.
I think my parting shot is just simple. Go out of your comfort zone and create more leaders, not followers, because only then that you can tell yourself that you've been a good and efficient leader.
Thank you so much, Attorney Paeng, with that message. Now, let us proceed to Mr. Isle.
I think my parting words with our former or current CSC officers and other aspiring leaders is, if this is my favorite quote, no? If you want to go fast, no, do it alone. But if you want to go further, no, let's do it together. So I think that is the very essence of leadership. It's about bringing different people and uniting them into a common goal.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, former officers. And that concludes our second episode of the Taripnong and Tungtungan ti Luwisyano.
It has been a wondrous experience here in Cafe Luis, joining with some student leaders through the years. And it's really a great way to start and embrace the celebration of the 60th foundation anniversary of St. Louis College.
That's correct, Sir Minus. See you in the next upcoming episode on July 12, 2023. This has been Jed Garcia.
And this has been Christopher Minus
For the Taripnong and Tungtungan ti Luwisyano. Good day, everyone.